Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into a pressing issue that's quietly simmering in Europe, threatening to boil over. We're talking about a hidden crisis pushing some of Europe's seemingly stable nations towards a terrifying precipice. You might be thinking, Europe crumbling? Isn't that where they have free healthcare and castles? Well, buckle up, stay tuned as we uncover why these 10 European nations are on the brink of collapse and what it means for the rest of the world. Spoiler alert, it's not great. Let's start with the foundation of any stable society, its economy. A thriving economy is crucial for progress, public services, and allowing people to afford basic needs. However, for some of these European nations, the economic engine is sputtering. We're talking about staggering levels of unemployment, particularly among young people. This isn't just a personal tragedy, it's a ticking time bomb for the entire economy. And let's not forget about the crippling national debt shackling these countries. It's a complex cocktail of factors: globalization, automation, bad policy decisions, you name it. Now let's talk about political corruption. It's the politician who uses public funds for personal gain, or the official who awards contracts to their incompetent nephew. Widespread corruption erodes public trust in government faster than termites demolish a garden shed. When people feel the system is rigged, they lose faith in institutions. This leads to protests, riots, and a breakdown of social order. People become disillusioned and angry. Corruption might seem victimless, but it's a slow poison eating away at society. Unfortunately, for some of these European nations, the rot is deep. Some European nations are ignoring the giant iceberg-shaped elephant in the room: climate change. For these nations, climate change isn't a distant threat. It's already knocking on their doors. We're talking about devastating floods, scorching droughts, and intense heat waves. These natural disasters are becoming more frequent and severe, leaving behind destruction and economic devastation. As climate change disrupts ecosystems and agriculture, it threatens entire ways of life. Imagine a world where France can no longer produce wine, or Italy's pasta dishes are a distant memory. The rise of populism. Simple answers to complex problems that don't actually work. In times of crisis, people often look for simpler solutions, even if those solutions are completely bonkers. Enter populism, the political equivalent of eating an entire tub of ice cream for dinner. Populist leaders thrive on fear and division, offering simplistic solutions and scapegoating minorities. They promise to drain the swamp and take back control, stoking nationalism and xenophobia. In some European nations, populist parties have gained significant ground, capitalizing on anxieties and frustrations. But populism is like putting a band-aid on a gaping wound. It covers the problem temporarily, but doesn't address the underlying causes. The aging population, a greying time bomb. We're talking about a demographic shift so dramatic it makes bingo night at the retirement home look like a mosh pit. Imagine a society where there are more people collecting pensions than paying into them. This aging population strains healthcare systems, social security programs, and the economy. Who will care for the elderly? Who will pay for their healthcare and pensions? As the population ages, societies become more risk-averse and less innovative. Imagine a world without new music, art, or groundbreaking scientific discoveries. Healthcare strain. When the cure is worse than the disease, even the best healthcare systems can crumble under the weight of an aging population and a shrinking workforce. We're talking about longer wait times, shortages of doctors and nurses, and rising healthcare costs. Imagine waiting months for a routine checkup, only to be told you need a life-saving surgery you can't afford. As healthcare systems struggle, it becomes harder for everyone to access quality care. This creates a vicious cycle where people delay seeking treatment, leading to more serious health problems. Free healthcare requires a delicate balance of funding, resources, and preventative care. Immigration. Europe is facing significant immigration challenges. Immigration, when managed effectively, can be a positive force, bringing in new skills, ideas, and cultures. However, poorly managed immigration can lead to social tensions and strain public services. The key is integration, providing language and job training, and fostering understanding between communities. This requires careful planning, investment, and a commitment to inclusivity. Remember Brexit, that messy divorce between the UK and the EU? Breaking up is hard to do. The economic fallout from Brexit has been significant, not just for the UK, but for its European neighbours. Supply chains have been disrupted, trade barriers erected, and the value of the pound has plummeted. Brexit has strained political relationships, fueled uncertainty, and reignited old tensions. Millions of people have been left in limbo, unsure of their rights and residency status. It's enough to make you want to move to a deserted island. Let's talk about debt, baby. Not the cute, manageable kind, but the soul-crushing, economy-crippling kind. National debt, to be precise. A little bit of national debt is normal, but for some European nations, the debt has spiraled out of control. We're talking about debt-to-GDP ratios so high they make even the most jaded economists break out in a cold sweat. This mountain of debt stifles economic growth, limits government spending, and leaves countries vulnerable to financial shocks. The combination of aging populations, slow economic growth, and generous social welfare programs is a recipe for fiscal disaster. It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. Remember that simmering pot of discontent? Sometimes all it takes is a little spark to turn that simmer into a full-blown boil-over. In some European nations, the sparks are flying. We're talking about social unrest, protests, and a general feeling that the system is broken. People are fed up with economic inequality, political corruption, and a lack of opportunities. Protests and social movements can be a powerful force for change, but can also be unpredictable and chaotic. When people feel like they have no other options, they may resort to desperate measures. It's like trying to herd cats, chaotic and unpredictable. So, there you have it. The hidden crisis pushing some of Europe's seemingly stable nations towards the brink. It's a complex and interconnected web of challenges, and there are no easy solutions. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Let us know in the comments which issue you think is the most pressing and why.